This week it's episode 117. Mike is off on assignment. Heroic Headgear is joining me. This is Storymoders. Welcome back to the Storymoders podcast. My name is Robert. Mike, like I said, is out on assignment. He's trying to figure out the best way for us to spend our billions that we won on the stock market in Kalshi. But tonight I'm joined by our best friend, Nate, aka Heroic Headgear. Hi, Nate.
Hi, Robert. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for joining me at very last notice.
Yeah, well, if it's for anything, last minute notice for Halo or Star Wars is going to get me here. So
there we go.
Here immediately.
There we go. Oh, hey, you look at that. You do have a Master Chief helmet back there. Or a Spartan helmet.
It's a ODST, but yeah, close enough.
Is it? Okay. What? Now, for those who may not know you, which I'm pretty sure everybody who tunes in regularly will know you, but just in case, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, I am Nate, Heroic Headgear. Occasionally, I hear myself referred to as the helmet guy. And accurate. I really just recently started streaming, but for the longest time I've been making helmets, and I've decided to merge the two. And I play games and then make helmets from those games, and occasionally give those helmets away to people that watch the stream. That's my elevator pitch, man.
Hell yeah! We've got some people in chat. Got Jesus Halo. Put your X up. I don't know what that means, but I'll do it. Straight Edge, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm going to fuck that up. I'm going to fuck up Straight Edge here momentarily. Big Hammer, Mjolnir, Nate the Great, Gianni DeCrosta, your co-host over at the Content Mill.
Of course, yes.
The Helmet King. And who else is going to take that crown from you?
Yeah, at least in our spaces, I don't see anyone else with this deep of an obsession as I got going on. Now I notice a few in your background there. You've got the N7, and then the T51.
Yes, T51. That's the one that came with Fallout 76, the big collector's edition thingy.
Yes.
Yeah. So I didn't make those though. I just bought those. Used money that. Did not have, still don't have, but they're paid off, so that's good enough.
Yeah. In the futures, I wouldn't hate to see a cool green and purple Storymoders one behind you too.
If I knew somebody who could do that,
who knows?
Yeah, that would be dope. Purple and green Mass Effect fucking N7 helmet, maybe.
You don't want to change it up? You have two of the same? I mean, I know I'm one to talk, having
it's fair.
12 of the same of one design. It's fun to spice it up.
We'll
multiple out there.
We'll figure something out.
We'll talk about it.
But that's a good idea. That is a good idea. But this is Storymoders, episode 117. And Mike and I, for a while, were like, when we get to episode 117, there's only one topic we can talk about. And that is Spartan 117. Master Chief. And then we're like, we can't just talk about Master Chief because that's a little weird just talking about a dude, so we're going to talk about the whole game series of Halo. So there's only so much you can talk about with Master Chief. You could probably do 3-4 hours.
With one dude, though, if it's going to be one dude.
It's going to be one dude. It's going to be, So we probably could. But we decided it's just going to be, all Halo. And that's what tonight is. We've got another couple friends in chat. Riley is here. The Hawk 808. What up, y'all? I can't read. I literally just got home from work and came into the office for this. So
I know the feeling. I was home for maybe an hour. I had to scarf down some food. Now here we are.
Yeah. I am ordering food after. Typically what I do on Tuesdays is I order food after we record, and then I eat it as I edit it. So, yeah, that's probably what I will. That definitely is what I'll end up doing. It's going to be tacos. It's going to be Del Taco. Welcome in, Batgirl. Nate, before we jump into Halo talk, and before we jump into some Forza talk, we have a question that we ask all of our first-time guests. Okay.
Shoot.
It's a couple questions. Oh, it's a two-parter. It's one question, two-parter. What is the first game you ever played, and what is your favorite game of all time? Very easy questions, you know.
Yeah, so first one does get tricky because I did have a dad that had a PC and like had some games and stuff, but uh cognizantly playing, actually having my hands on a controller that's actually doing something, it might be something like the 2005 Zoo Tycoon, or maybe something on an NES at an uncle's house. But I would say probably Zoo Tycoon, and that's one that, I mean, stuck with me for a while. I was playing that up until I was like 15. Was like,
Yeah.
all right, there's better games out here.
I think they just announced Zoo Tycoon 2.
I believe they're on like 3 or 4 now. Actually, there was
Maybe. Wait, is it Planet Coaster?
It's
2?
been a very storied franchise, and one that has
Yeah.
gone in directions that I'm like, I don't fuck with this one. And
Yeah.
that I still think that original is the best.
That first Zoo
It
Tycoon.
didn't get better. Yep.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. And favorite game of all time? Like I said, easy question. Easy question.
It's easy. It's Skyrim. I was a Skyrim sicko. I do have like a Mandalorian Daedric helmet behind me, and that is also very Skyrim. And then I got a tattoo on my arm. I've got a pendant hanging right there. It's kind of all over everywhere I look in my room.
Yeah.
So I just have to assume, even if it's subconsciously, yeah, that's the one.
It's Skyrim. I want to see this a bit closer, if possible. The Mandalorian helmet?
Yeah, absolutely. Give me 1 second.
Oh, that's pretty.
So yeah, it like merges the design of a Daedric helmet and a Mandalorian helmet. This was from the Galactic Armory, I want to say, is where those 3D models are from, if we have any other enthusiasts out there. But I printed, painted, made this one 100% from myself.
Hell yeah. Oh, that's cool as shit, dude. I also love the bright green, like your green color Mandalorian helmet.
Yeah, that is
like
I want to say I made that in like 2022, 23, and since then it's the one I am most consistently complimented on, and people are like, "That's freaking unique!" Like, whoa, what the heck? So, just started leaning into it more. I've done a few, but you know, when it comes to like bright fluorescent color, the bright green one, it can't be beat.
Yeah. I mean, it would be probably terrible for a bounty hunter because he'd be spotted immediately.
100%. Oh, yeah. No, that's just for the drip.
Yeah, but it would be perfect for a bounty hunter on screen because you could just green screen him away.
I
mean, I don't know how that would
help. Chroma keying that out. That does sound like a decent idea.
Yeah. So I'm just saying. Keep that in mind if you ever have to assassinate someone.
Ideas are out there.
So I mentioned just a minute ago, but I think a lot of people in chat, pretty much everybody in chat was hanging out with us last Friday for some Forza Horizon 6, our first Storymoders community night, and you helped us out a shit ton by making a bunch of custom maps, which I'll be honest, I'm pretty sure you made those for Dido. I don't give a shit because it gave us something to race with too, you know?
So the funny story about that, the Dido one happened, I think, a little too close to release. None of that was finished in time. So everything that was raced on the Storymoders community stream was finished mostly that day.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
So
I've been diving into it more. Oh, it gets even more complex. There is a lot of really cool tools in there. I'm building some neat tracks.
Yeah. When you left the stream, I tried to make a custom race. Like I did it. You know, I made one, but I didn't know what anything meant. And we ended up just having, I think, sports cars on a dirt track in the snow, and it was just hell.
You know
and
what?
OM Jesus in chat was screaming at me, be like, just pick one of the races that the fucking company's made, you know?
But sometimes that hell is the most fun part of the night.
Yeah, that whole night was phenomenal and fantastic. We had
Yeah,
a
it was
great time, had a ton of homies in chat. And you know, in the voice chat, it got pretty overwhelming at times. I'll be completely honest.
Yeah.
But we had a blast, and you know, when they actually fix the multiplayer, it's going to be so much better.
It really is. Yeah. They just
Yeah.
need to bring back the way the setup was in Horizon 5. It was solid. Like I didn't play as much of that game, but what I did of the multiplayer, there was a lot more kind of just silly goofy modes like you would
Yeah.
see in a Mario Kart. Like there was a like King of the Crown mode where someone would race around with a crown and you have to hit them to take it, and it's all in like an arena. None of that is present in this at launch, and I think that's a big mistake.
Yeah. Yeah, I would not be surprised if if it is really just a, hey, we're launching the game, we're making sure the multiplayer works, and that it doesn't take Send Nuggies 3 fucking hours to try to join a team, and then we have to leave our team to join her because for whatever reason the GeForce Now just does not want to let her join it. Whatever. That was a whole thing, but
That was
yeah, once they get everything kind of like sorted out in that regard, and then yeah, throw in all the weird shit, and then whatever DLC we get. We had a little YouTube short out of last week's episode.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, talking about like
so excited.
what sort of crossovers that you want and everything, and I was incorrect last week when I said I thought that there were Lego ones in the last 2 games. Last game was 2 games ago was Lego. Last game was Hot Wheels. So
yeah.
so it's still toys, you know. This one, Transformers, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, Transformers would be cool. Shit, run it back with Lego. Honestly, it's that thing that worked so flawlessly. And I mean, what's more fun than driving around in a Lego car, smashing Lego bricks?
Yeah.
Like it felt so good.
And especially because you just fucking killed 2K Drive, Lego 2K Drive.
Yep, that did happen. Yep.
Which I don't know. I have not looked into why that happened. I don't know if it's the Lego fucking license or what, but yeah, but for some reason that game is dead. Lego Batman, not dead, and that is what I've been playing lately, other than Forza, and a game that I'm reviewing where that review will hopefully go up Thursday morning. That's when the embargo drops. Very excited. I've recorded the video, wrote the script, recorded it, and I have edited out at least the parts that I'm going to use, and now it's just the full editing time of, you know, splicing in the game footage and doing all this and this and this and this. So that's coming Thursday morning. Knock on fake wood. No, that's real wood. This is real wood. But yeah, other than Forza, have you been playing anything else, or is it literally just Forza and fucking around with the creation mode?
Yeah, for the past week, it's been Forza. Really, that's kind of it. I mean, May is very much a Star Wars month for me, as if every month isn't a Star Wars month. Just a little more so.
Fair enough.
So I did hop back into some older stuff. I tried to play along KOTOR with good friend Cameron French of the French Dip Design. And that was one that I'm like, you know what, I've done this enough. I'll backseat and watch him do it, because getting your hands back on the sticks of those games, old game is old.
Old game is old. You know? I never played KOTOR because I didn't have an original Xbox and then just never went back to play it. That's a BioWare joint, so I feel like I would potentially enjoy it. If I'm correct, I think the combat, I think, is what did not look appealing to me.
Yeah, it is a very... it really wishes it was today's active turn-based combat, you know?
Yeah.
But it isn't quite, and it is that thing where the first 5-6 hours, kind of a slog. But once you get past that, it skyrockets. Between getting, like, crazy force powers and amassing more of your crew in the story actually like progressing and going somewhere interesting, you really have to grudge through those first couple hours.
Yeah, that's it's a great way to sell a game. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Just
It
don't
gets
enjoy
good
it
after
for
7
10
hours, I
and then-
promise.
yeah, once you hit this certain point, you're gonna fucking love it.
Yeah.
But,
But,
yeah.
you know, that's completely because of old game. If you really want the whole story of it, you're going to enjoy it.
Yeah, yeah. The storyline itself seems really, really cool, and that's the reason that like every once in a while I'm like, should I try to play it? And then I remember, oh yeah, they did technically announce they were going to remake it. Do I think that's happening? No, but you know,
If it does, then there you go. You can play
yeah,
then.
cool. Then maybe they'll fucking update the battle system, combat something. I don't know.
We'll see.
I don't know what it's called. I have not started drinking yet, so I'm confused right now. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. Yeah. One more question. Since Star Wars, and we just talked about Forza, what's your hype level for Galactic Racer?
Oh, so high. So much so that I've begun like planning for something that's more than just fun community race night. I want to set up a whole multi-day community bracket to get people racing in the fastest times in specific classes of like pod racer or speeder bike or whatever. And I'm going to set up like the grand prize at the end of the month. We'll see what we land on. I'm going to make a helmet from the game.
Ooh, a Sebulba helmet.
That'll just be... We'll see. The protagonist that we've seen a few times...
It's Sebulba.
Okay, yeah.
That's the protagonist of any fucking pod racing game is Sebulba.
We'll see.
Wait, is there a protagonist of the game? Is there like a storyline as far as we know?
Yeah, they've said a couple things about it. It's still kind of vague and, you know, it's like... I think it's going to be very open-ended to it's you know?
Yeah. Okay. I just didn't know if there was... Because, I mean, obviously the one thing that comes to mind to compare it to Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. You know, where that is literally just... You're just, right, you pick a racer, but they're just...
And you're one of them.
Yeah, you've got Anakin, you can unlock Sebulba, and then there's a bunch of other fuckers that they... I think were maybe in the movie, or they just made them up for the game. It's like, who cares?
I imagine this will be similar like that. People want to do online and be like, hey, I don't want to just be like a human dude. Let me be this goofy-looking alien.
Let me be Sebulba.
Let me be Sebulba.
I know why I love the name Sebulba and why I love Sebulba, but it's stupid. Are you
gonna share with the class?
And I can't even remember what album it's from, but there's just a skit on an MC Chris album where he's like talking to somebody and then he just says the name Sebulba in a weird way that's always stuck with me. So anytime I think about pod racers, I just think of Sebulba. And yeah, so I love that because I you know what? I'll say it. You know, not a lot of people have the courage to say it. I like MC Chris. Yeah. Cancel me. Okay?
Is there a lot of pushback on that?
I think maybe like 20 years ago. Oh shit, MC Chris is a name I haven't heard in like 15 years. Yeah, he's on tour. He's going on tour. Salt Lake is one of his last dates, and unfortunately the Salt Lake date happens right after Mega Ran hops off of the tour. So, yeah. Batgirl, there we go. That's why we're besties.
Yep, amazing.
Yeah. So, Halo. The reason for the season. What's your history with Halo?
Very, very long one. That is a franchise that came out, the first game, 2001, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
I was born in 2000.
Jesus.
So this has been a game that, as whether a parent or friend or whoever didn't want me to see it or did, or however I first came across it, it's been one of those things that it's always been around, and then I'm old enough to, a friend's brother has it, and all the parents are out of the house. Let's go play the shooty Halo game. Probably way younger than I should have, but yeah, since then, those like vague early memories of it, I've always loved the franchise.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a little younger than you, clearly. So I'm old. I'm old as fuck. But my first major memories of Halo were, and I don't even know if you're gonna fucking understand this term, LAN parties.
Oh, I know.
Okay. Okay. Good. LAN parties, and we had a few of our friends around you, like our and this is, we're in high school doing this because we're the cool kids. A few of our friends we would go over to one of their houses. There would be 4 Xboxes around the house, just all fucking cables everywhere. Their parents are like, "Who gives a fuck?" They're not doing. They're just yelling.
Yeah,
That's the worst thing they're
better
doing is
in
yelling.
here
We got
than
waters.
whatever the hell they would be doing out there. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, we'd have 4 Xboxes and like 4 TVs in different rooms, or at least facing away from each other in a way that you can't cheat. And then so much Little Caesars.
Oh yeah, that I actually feel directly. Actually,
Yeah,
Little Caesars specifically. Yeah.
yeah. And so I live in Utah. So the families and the people that I went to high school with, a lot of them Mormon. So, a ton of Little Caesars and a ton of fucking little Mormon kids getting hype off of Mountain Dew because it's the only time they were allowed to drink it. You know? So just all the Mountain Dew, all the Little Caesars, and mostly I think it was Halo. No, it was Halo 1 that we were doing because I remember fucking Blood Gulch over and over and over again because that's still the best multiplayer map in all of video games. Fight me, okay? And maybe it's because of Red versus Blue, and that's why I have such an affinity for it. But
Very, very big reason. Yes.
yeah. But just on the Xbox, this first person shooter that shouldn't work on console in the first place. Kind of looking back now, as a kid who, I had a PS2 and I played Kingdom Hearts, and I played like the WWE or WWF games at the time and stuff. I wasn't into first person shooters because that just wasn't a console thing.
Yeah.
You as a youngin', you've grown up in a world where like
Always been on console.
yeah, it's always been a console thing. That's not to say that first person shooters weren't on consoles. It was just that
Yeah.
it was always like
They didn't get mainstream on consoles
Yeah.
until Halo.
yeah, and you even go back and you play some like first person shooters from before Halo, and they're just Halo, like Bungie figured out how to put it on a controller. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Other games would run and everything, but they figured out how to put it on controller, and then all the games that have come after it have been like, oh, okay, this is the template.
Yeah.
We're gonna make it better in our own ways, but yeah, Halo 1, and yeah, that Blood Gulch level is so iconic, and I can remember exactly where to go if I want to go around, in the cliffside. If you go straight down the middle, you go to the do you get the tank?
It's a great map to like. It gives you that scale that it feels so big, but it's simple enough that like you're never lost.
Yeah. It's such a simple map, but it's yeah. We've got some. Yeah, the chat is popping off for Halo and for MC Chris actually. And yeah, quite a bit of definitely some KOTOR talk. Back to that. But yeah, Batgirl LAN parties back in my day. Yeah, Batgirl and I, if we went to high school together, we would have been at the LAN parties just hanging out, eating Little Caesars and drinking Mountain Dew, and then not going to church the next day.
I did experience LAN parties, but not for the reason of like, oh, us all as friends can't play just online together.
Mm-hmm.
It was always hey, this weekend you bring your Xbox to my house, and because everything's so much different in person than it's online. Yeah.
No.
So I've done plenty of LAN parties that are strictly because like, oh man, we haven't actually like hung out in the same place playing this game together.
Yeah.
Let's all do that, and it's 10 times more fun.
Oh yeah, like my best one of my best friends, David, who I've talked about on the podcast quite a bit before. But sometimes, like when we hang out, that's literally just what we do. Is he'll come over to my house with his Xbox, and either bring a TV or just like I have like this right next to me that I'm using on my computer is just like a little 20 some odd inch that just fits on a desk, and then we're literally just out in the living room, not even playing multiplayer games together. Just like he's usually playing like he's playing like a Battlefield or something, or like something that has dailies because he's like a big dailies gamer, and then I'm playing something on just like the TV in the living room, and it's just two friends hanging out, and we're just like shooting the shit. Just hey, we're hanging out in person though. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
But yeah, and you don't need the cables though. So was it really a LAN party when you come over and you're playing online together?
Yes, because we would do cables because it ran smoother than everyone on the same Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Actually, the last time that we tried to do a LAN hookup was actually way more recent, maybe 5 years ago. He came over with his Xbox and stuff, and we both bought. They had just put the original Battlefront 2 back onto like Xbox Live, like you could buy it, and it was like $10 or something. So we both bought it, assuming multiplayer, maybe not online. So we'll LAN it up. No, it just did not have any sort of off or not local co-op or local multiplayer. Just bummed. But yeah, sorry. Back to chat. Noah C92 says, my earliest Halo memory is playing the Silent Cartographer demo with my brother like 200 times because we couldn't afford the game. Been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of demos out there that just the back of your hand, but the rest of the game, complete mystery.
Yeah, I know every fucking square inch of the factory in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1. Or the warehouse, sorry, not the factory. The factory is later on. Factory was 3. But yeah, no, the warehouse in Tony Hawk 1. Like, yeah. Yeah, OM Jesus says, also, Halo itself was crafted as something revolutionary in several ways beyond just controller shooter engineering. The co-op nature of it was groundbreaking as well. Yes. If I believe it had the drop-in, drop-out co-op. Or at least I know you could play the entire game in co-op.
Yeah, if one person is just playing, the other can just pick up a controller, press a button, and goes split screen.
Yeah. Noah, once again, is I think Bungie's success in getting the template for controls in place often overshadows the also incredibly important innovations they made in matchmaking. Yeah, very true. Yeah, it was very important that they did not have console users scrolling through a server browser. Yes, that's not just getting first-person shooters on consoles. Halo is... I would... And maybe I might be going too far here, but I would say, like, without Halo, are we in this same age of online gaming? Without Halo, do we have Xbox Live the way it is, which then made everyone else kind of up their fucking game? Because obviously that's not the first online, gameplay, but, like...
I mean, yes, but probably not in the same way. Probably would have missed all of that kind of... I mean, what we're nostalgic for. Those first couple of online Halo nights that were fucking groundbreaking. I, of course, don't remember it directly, but I've seen so many first-hand accounts and stuff. I do have family that's like, man, you don't understand. Plugging in your Xbox into like a little thing that hooked onto the back for internet and then playing with some stranger that's who knows where else is crazy, man. Like,
and I think what Noah was referring to is like, other games had the online capability. Like the fucking Dreamcast. I don't know. So Dreamcast was a console made by a company called Sega. They make video games, but they also used to make consoles. Yeah, just a little history.
That's the Sanic people, right?
Yeah, those are the Sanics. Yeah, the Sanics, the Yakuzas.
Got it.
Right?
The Sanics and the Yakuzas.
Yeah. The Sakazas, if you will.
The Sanics.
But their last home console they made was the Dreamcast, which was perfect in every single way. And if the only reason it died is because Americans are racist. But it had a built-in modem. Like it had they were the first ones that were like, no, this is part of the thing. And they had a bunch of online services. They had like the 2K games now, all the NBA 2K, NHL 2, like all of those things. The 2K series is a Sega thing, and that was kind of their big online shit. And I think what a lot of companies were doing, like even at that point, is like, oh, we see how PC people get online to play, so we're gonna do that. Whereas Halo, like Noah says, Halo's like, okay, we see how PC people get online, and they're able to, they've got a mouse, they got a keyboard, they're able to scroll through server browsers and trying to do all this shit. How do we just make that just, hey, you've got a controller, you could figure it out. You press a button, you're online. And that's, one of the biggest things that they added as in addition to controller schemes on on console and all this other stuff. Vehicle stuff was legendary, says OM Jesus. Yeah. Vehicles in that game that drive like shit, let's be honest, but are still memorable.
Terribly, but I think that adds so much to the fun of it. If you had a Warthog driver that's all over the road, no idea what the fuck he's doing, it's so much more fun when you do, with that driver, get the flag and run it back than someone that's on their A game and it's, drives like a normal car would in a game.
Drives like a fucking idiot who knows what they're doing. Boring.
Ruining fun.
Yeah, ruining fun. Noah, Dreamcast is a top 5 console, and I'll fight for that. Yes, you and me both. Long live Dreamcast, says OM Jesus. Fuck yeah. Oh, I forgot that this was still on the screen. It's not up in the...
Yeah, I've seen it for the past 20 minutes, yes.
That's for those... We're gonna... There we go. This is what... Nate's been looking at.
On my left for a while.
For the entire time we've been talking. But let's start jumping into Halo. In the series that we're here talking about, Master Chief, one of the great kind of silent protagonists. We've seen his face a bunch of times in the very, very, very canon TV show, and his ass.
Yeah.
Starring.
So we don't have to talk about that today, right? Can we stick to the good stuff?
Yeah. I'll be honest. The thumbnail for this episode that I made earlier, it includes the Cortana from the TV show because it just makes me laugh. Halo Combat Evolved. This is the first game of the series. This is what started it all. And this game now is being... actually... I wish Gabi was here. Okay. Noah?
We need
Danhausen.
We need that goblin for what?
Well, the reason that I wish Gabi was here is because Gabi has anointed himself as the arbiter, pun not intended, of what is a remake and what is a remaster. And I'm wondering what he would say the Halo, what is it, the anniversary edition is. Because it is the same game, just with much better graphics and everything. Like, you can switch the graphics, at least, back and forth.
I think this one, we can confidently say, this is just a remaster.
Okay.
They didn't do a lot other than graphics, I don't think.
I'm not...
Unless I'm wrong, and they did... Maybe they also added, Forge.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that might be it.
Fair enough, yeah. And this was this 343, or were they still Bungie at the time? I want to say this was... I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, great question.
Yeah. But Halo Combat Evolved introduced us to just about everything that we see in the Halo universe now. You know, Master Chief, Spartan 117, Oh god, it's been so long actually it's been way longer since I've played a storyline of Halo than just multiplayer.
Multiple. Yeah.
I remember the Flood, and now I cannot remember the other fucking main enemy that you fight.
Yeah. So the main enemy, I'm pretty sure, is kind of just the Covenant in general.
Covenant. That's the word I couldn't fucking remember.
Oh, I thought you meant like their leader or whatever.
No,
because I don't think the prophets are introduced till the second, and then it starts, fleshing out the Covenant more. I think in the beginning it was kind of just, here's bad aliens.
Yeah, and that's all it really needed to. I got a hair in my nose. Yeah, but that's kind of all it needed to be. Was like, hey, here are the bad guys that aren't human. You know who to shoot.
Yeah.
And then going through the game, you're fighting the Covenant, and you're like, you're used to it. You're fine. And I don't know the name. I don't know the name. Maybe it might just be called, like, the level might just be called The Flood. But when you actually first interact with the Flood in Halo 1, for those who
it's one of those weird Forerunner names that they have for stuff like the Auditorium or it's one of those, I feel like, but
something, whatever the story, the level itself is called. But when you first encounter the Flood, and it is literally like a flood of enemies coming at you, and you're like, what the fuck? Where's the dude who's just screaming, yay, and I shoot his head and it explodes? What the fuck? What is happening here?
It turns to horror for a minute.
It definitely does.
Going in not really knowing anything, playing that game, you wouldn't expect anything else other than the Covenant. So then when they're like, but also zombies, it's kind of jarring.
Yeah. But the storyline of Halo, the first Halo, we've got the campaign here. Pillar of Autumn, which is just a great name. Is it the library? Is this where we first see the Flood?
It might. No, Silent Cartographer.
Is it Silent Cartographer? Enemies Flood. In this one.
Unless I'm wrong.
Silent Cartographer.
No, that's before you actually go in. Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, gosh, the naming conventions for so many Halo things. The Silent Cartographer, that's so hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
As they go on, they continuously add names that are in that same vein that just sound so perfect in a way that's like, it's always invoking Forerunner stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very like, it's recognizable words that but put together in a string that you almost never would.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of games and a lot of media tries to do stuff like that, and it feels like you're trying to do something like that. You know what I mean? Like I don't know really how to explain it, but most of the Halo stuff, like I said, the Pillar of Autumn, the Silent Cartographer, Guilty Spark, like just that could be what the fuck, but it's just like that fits. I don't know why, but that fits. Mm-hmm. And maybe it's just the quality of the game and the quality of everything kind of around it, where it's not just it doesn't stick out because everything else is shit, Yeah. But yeah. So Halo 1 introduces us to everything, introduces us to Master Chief, Cortana's in here, like just the idea of the Halo. Just the fucking ringed world.
A giant ring that is, basically a Death Star, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Blow up, like, and make entire species go extinct, like across the galaxy. Like that's, okay, we're fighting on a giant superweapon. Rad. Yeah. That's such a big draw.
The summary here, quick summary. UNSC Pillar of Autumn emerges from slip space to find a huge ring, a halo, floating in space. The main character, Master Chief Petty Officer John 117, who we will never refer to as Petty Officer again, is aboard the Pillar of Autumn when the ship comes under attack by the Covenant, an alliance of aliens and the mortal enemies of humanity. John 117 evacuates the doomed ship for the surface of Halo to protect the Autumn's artificial intelligence, Cortana. She carries highly sensitive military information, which would prove disastrous if she were captured by the Covenant. With the UNSC Marines by his side for how fucking long? Not long. Cortana providing direction, and his assault rifle ready and loaded, John 117 sets to finding out the mysteries of Halo and defeating the Covenant. And as we all know, he defeated the Covenant and we never saw them again.
Yep. One and done.
One and done.
An alternate world where, it didn't sell quite well. People were like, sci-fi? Bullshit. I hate it.
Not a fan. Really quick. Noah says, Anniversary is a remake in the strictest sense. A remaster would be using source assets from the original and remastering them for higher resolutions. Anniversary is a remake of the first using assets, models, and engine tech from 3. Okay?
I had no idea.
The industry muddies that with inconsistent naming, but in the technical sense, all a remaster would be is like when you remaster music by taking the old source files and dubbing them in a higher quality format over time, like so many of the classic Beatles releases, etc. Yeah. Are you comparing Halo to the Beatles? Because
it's a good comparison.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah,
he's right.
Ain't mad at it, really. Before we jump into Halo 2, we did have... So I called out for some responses, some, memories and everything.
Right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to pepper those throughout here. From Gobby, Blaster Goblin. I have an excess of Halo memories, but the best ones are staying up all night completing the campaign co-op on Legendary around the release of each game with the homie Josh. I don't know Josh, probably a cool person. It sucks for like 12 hours until it's over, and then you spend the next 15-ish years trying to convince yourself that you enjoyed it. Fair enough. All right.
Sounds accurate, yeah.
Yep. OM Jesus. Besides the normal, played Halo 1 through 3 co-op with friends back in the day, and it was dope. Memories, a lot of us have. I will say being unemployed during COVID gave me the opportunity to play through every Halo up and through Infinite, although I could only beat Halo 1 and Infinite on Legendary, since Halo 2 Legendary is rough.
Yeah,
a lot of other ones. Jesus.
Those Jackal snipers are real relentless.
Fucking cunts. It was such an awesome experience, even doing it solo the way I did. Halo 4 is a way better single-player game than I was led to believe, and ODST/Reach were so very excellent. Gotta love Halo. Yeah.
Very true. Agree with all of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But speaking of Halo 2, let's jump into... Yeah, there's Halo 2 Anniversary as well. But whatever. Halo 2 came out 3 years later and fucking took over the goddamn world. Holy shit. These first 3 Halo games... Massive. Yeah. Massive. Which one did Peter Molyneux get a fucking tattoo for? Is that 3? I don't know if you know about that.
I've heard about that a long time ago.
Yeah. To announce the release date of, I believe it was Halo 3. Peter Molyneux, maybe it wasn't, may not. I might be getting some details wrong here, but Peter Molyneux, former baked bean salesman, yes.
Yes, that same one.
Got the Halo logo and the date tattooed on his arm. And showed it off at E3.
Baller.
Yep. Oh, yeah, this doesn't really have a summary for us. Just a whole thing. So Halo 2, you get to play as a fucking Covenant in this one.
You do.
And that's... I think at the time we were all just like, "What the fuck? Those are the bad guys." And you get the sword. What did you play Halo? Well, no, because you were still 4. What do you have any sort of memories about playing Halo 2? Like the
Oh yeah. So
Yeah.
my first I really remember playing was 3. But then after, months and months and beating that and being like, wait, there's others, we then
yeah.
will go back because this was before Reach came out. So 2 was actually like maybe even scarier to me because of the way everything goes on in 3 that is very like all the flood stuff and then the Cortana being in your head and all that. I feel like that didn't really get to me as much as a kid as then going back into and the whole being on the inside of the Covenant as the Arbiter
Yeah.
and what's all going on there. And like, because when I learned about the Arbiter, it was, it's one of them is working with us now. Cool. Without knowing anything about 2. So then going back and actually seeing all of his side, I feel like stuck with me more as I was growing up.
Yeah.
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 I think the story of 2, slightly better.
Yeah. Oh, and especially compared to 1, even like 1, like we said, is literally just there's aliens, kill the aliens. That's all you need. But 2, instead of just there's more aliens, kill more aliens, they are building out a universe and they're building out characters and they're making you actually give a shit about the enemies. And you're like, wait, no, these are actual beings that have thoughts and everything. They're not just mindless. Oh, the Flood are just mindless fucks. But you know what I mean?
I mean, even them, not really. The whole Gravemind stuff, also
Yeah.
wild and so ahead of its time. And
a couple of corrections. It was Peter Moore from Xbox, and it was Halo 2. And he got the Halo logo with like the Halo 2 logo, and then November 8th was the tattoo that he got.
Peter M.
Peter M. I had most of it right.
It's close enough.
Yeah. Get off my ass. No one was saying anything. But yeah, Halo 2 kind of splits you up through Master Chief and the Arbiter. Gets those two kind of playing through the storyline together, really. I love the idea of a dual storyline, like a dual protagonist storyline like this.
Yeah.
Where it's not just we're jumping back and forth between... Well, we are, but it's not just like we're all doing the same thing, but right now I'm controlling this person right now. There's like 2 stories that then intersect. And yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. Just I love the idea of that. I love when games can do that.
Yeah.
When you have...
And getting to the point of like actual convergence and then it giving you control of both.
Yeah.
Very rad.
Yeah. There's another game that I'm a big fan of that does something where you play as 2 protagonists that actually never converge together until, well, they do at some point. Little game called Yakuza 0. You know? Plays some Kazuma Kiryu and Goro Majima. And I could say that because Neo Aoshi has just joined chat, and he refuses to continue playing Yakuza 0 because he's a bitch. I love you, Neo. You're great. So yeah, Halo 2. So you said Halo 3 now. This was kind of your introduction.
3 would have been my first that I remember. Not just like peeking in on an older brother or older brother's friend playing, more of a get my hands on the sticks and figure it out myself.
Yeah. And this was the first one for the Xbox 360. Was this... I don't think this was a launch title. When did the Xbox 360 come out?
That's a great question.
Okay, no, not even close. Released November 22nd, 2005 was the original release of the Xbox 360, and this came out in 2007. So, Neo, I hope Hawks read every reply in every Discord he posted in. I will, Neo. And if I don't like what you wrote, I will just paint you to be a racist, I guess. I don't know.
I'll read it.
What people do online, right?
Yeah, no, that's the easiest route. Yeah.
Either a racist or a communist, you know, or a liberal. I don't know. Halo 3, Xbox 360. We're jumping up a generation. We're getting fucking nuts with it, y'all. And then after this, we get, you know, just remakes of a bunch of shit. And then we get the Master Chief Collection, which is cool and all that stuff. Halo 3. What are your memories about Halo 3? With it being your first one, like this kind of was the one that really sucked you in, was it? Or would you say 2 was?
So this would have been when I probably played this in 2010, 2011. I would have been a 10 or 11-year-old kid probably.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it being one of the first games that, like, no, I wasn't supposed to play these type of shooters. But then after being caught, making the whole, but the blood is blue. They're aliens. It's not like, I'm not killing people. And eventually them being like, okay, fine, whatever. And not realizing like what else is in it, like the flood or the fact that you can shoot people.
Yeah. They get mad at you, but you know, you can do it. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah. But no, this was probably one of my first like FPS loves and what really got me hooked on the genre. Like I'd probably before this played at one of my parents maybe knew and the other didn't, the old Battlefield 1942. And that was one of my first like PC games kind of guided by my dad, and maybe at some point remember him going, is he too young to be doing this? Should I be showing him on this computer at this age? And maybe we don't tell your mom. But Halo 3 was the first one I was allowed to play myself. And I want to say the majority of it with a friend at his house. And then it wasn't until later of getting my own PS3 or own Xbox 360. And then I think this was one of the only games we had on it for a while, because playing at the friend's house, being like, this is the one thing I really want. So it was the Halo console for a while.
I feel like and maybe Halo 3, and I hate to say it, but correct me if you think I'm wrong, but I think Halo 3 is like, this is the peak of this series. This is not just like the gameplay wise, maybe not, but like in the social consciousness and in the zeitgeist, like Halo 3, and maybe you don't remember because you were 10, 7, I don't know. But Halo 3's release was, this is the biggest fucking video game of all time to that point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, did Halo 3, is this the one, and I don't know, is this the one that came with the helmet? Like the big collector's edition that had
this one came with a helmet because I have a family member that I think still has theirs.
But it wasn't a helmet that you could wear.
No, it was too small to actually put on, but had a really cool stand you could put it on.
Yeah. The reason I remember that, one, is very silly
Big
that
Hammer.
you couldn't wear it. Yeah.
Big Hammer still has his from 3. Yep.
Yeah, Big Hammer still has his. Also, Big Hammer's name, Mjolnir, which is I know what Mjolnir... Isn't Mjolnir in Halo as well? Is that the Big Hammer?
That is the name of their suits. The Spartan suits are called Mjolnir armor. Yeah.
It's the armor. Thank you. I still have my deluxe edition helmet from 3. Noah C92. Halo 3 is the most prevalent in the larger zeitgeist that isn't super into games, but I think most Halo ball knowers point to Reach as the peak. Fair enough. Yes. Yeah. My thing more was like the the larger zeitgeist and like the social aspect of Halo 3. It's the armor, not where my name is from. I know, your name is from Marvel's Thor. Duh.
Oh.
Easy. But I have a story about I'll tell it in a moment. Let me get my other beer.
We're waiting for Robert to get a beer.
Mini fridge. So, my Halo 3 big-ass, dumbass collector's edition. I say dumbass in a way it's cool as fuck. I wish I had it. It's dumb as shit, though. Let's be honest. These two collector's editions, dumb as shit. I love them anyway. This Starfield collector's edition, dumb as shit.
Oh,
but I
I'm
love
so
it.
jealous.
Okay,
I'm so jealous. That is one that I tried so hard to get my hands on that and just could not for the life of me.
And now I'm blurry.
I do have I have the headset and controller for Starfield, though.
I have the controller, but not I didn't get the headset.
The headset is so rad because, you know, the normal like sounds wireless headphones would just make like little bleeps and bloops to tell you your turn. It's all Starfield themed, so it sounds from inside the cockpit.
So the reason I didn't buy it, this is oddly enough right next to me, because I already had one.
Yeah, it's that same model.
Yeah.
But all of the sounds, you turn it on, you turn the mic on, you go to pair it, any of those, it starts making noises from the cockpit. It's very satisfying.
Mjolnir, look at the dude just flexing and say they're all stupid. I didn't say they're stupid. I said they're dumb. Those are two different things. Stupid, in my mind, stupid is like these aren't good. Like these
You might
are
have
bad
said stupid
things.
a few times.
Maybe I did. I've been drinking. But dumb, like it's dumb. To spend our money on this is dumb, but we do it because it makes us happy. Because dumb can make you happy.
A lot of dumb makes me happy.
Exactly. Yeah. Right? Like my mini fridge, it's the dumbass Xbox Series X mini fridge.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a piece of shit.
I've got
be honest with you.
I have the Fallout Nuka-Cola one that is sitting. I just have to reorganize the room in a way that it'll fit in a way that makes sense. I have a lot of art stuff all over there that I can't really be next to.
I will say, that one, the Fallout one, the Nuka-Cola fridge, that one is stupid. Because instead of it being a Nuka-Cola fridge with a big old Nuka-Cola logo, it's a Nuka-Cola fridge with a Fallout logo, and it's just, that's not what they're supposed to. It's, why?
I guess.
That shouldn't be on there. That's my biggest problem with that. If it said Nuka-Cola, I would have had that the day it fucking came out, trust me. Gabi is here. Gabi, we did have a little conversation earlier about Halo Anniversary Edition and whether or not that was a remaster or a remake. And Noah, C92? Yeah.
CE is that old one, not the new one coming. The old original remake is a remake.
The Anniversary Edition is a remake. Gabi is saying remaster. Noah, y'all two can fight over it. Noah made a very good argument. He made a very good argument. I'm saying he. I'm hoping Noah. If those are not your pronouns, please let me know. Let's see. Yeah. So Neo says, I remember being excited to get this, only to learn that you couldn't fit your head in it. Yep. Not the only one. A Mjolnir about the headset. That headset is trash. I hate it. Would be better with Starfield sounds. Yeah, it would 1000% be better with Starfield sounds. I actually love this headset.
It's very good. Yeah.
And my pronouns are Gabi's dad. Perfect.
Very good.
The fact that you can do like the Xbox and then also Bluetooth with something else.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Pretty cool.
Perfect. Fucking love it. Noah says, I got those headphones in a bundle when I bought my Series X. I never use them since I have nicer headphones, but my grandma uses them every day. Noah's grandma just with...
Actually hilarious.
just
I hope she uses the mic to talk to you on the phone.
I'm assuming...
Because that would make it even better.
Yeah, I'm assuming she knits. Or she eats spaghetti a lot. I don't know, one of the two.
One of those, yeah.
She might be Italian. Okay. Yeah, Gabi says remaster. You know, y'all two can figure that out. Gabi's always wanted a dad. Fair enough. It's trash for Warzone. The audio frequencies are not there for Footsteps. Fair enough. Yeah.
Good thing I don't play Warzone.
Same here. Same here.
You know what? You know what's it's great for is playing Starfield, because I can have the Starfield sounds in my head as I'm playing Starfield, which is making the sounds.
Motherfucker.
Anyways.
Yeah, so the Halo 3 collector's this helmet. I worked when this game came out, and this might be the reason why I kind of feel like this is the biggest one, is I worked at a place called Game Crazy, which was a video game store connected to a Hollywood Video, you know, and there were a bunch of them, you know, but I worked at Game Crazy. And this, you know, was coming out, and Halo 3 was the biggest fucking thing. We had a shitload of pre-orders for it, a shitload of pre-orders for this thing specifically. And we had a regular who came in. We had a lot of regulars, but, like, you know, we had a couple that came in that we actually, you know, would talk to, and we were, you know, friends with, and they were, like, super chill, and we, you know. So we had a regular that would come in, and he was super hyped for Halo 3. And he pre-ordered this one. And a couple of days before we actually got them in, a coworker of mine was like, "Oh, I wonder what this helmet's going to be like, you know, in real life." And I think at that point we didn't realize you couldn't wear it. Everybody was under the assumption that this was going to be a helmet you could wear. Yeah. Yeah, I was stalking pre-orders. Heroic Headgear was studying his spelling words exactly.
That's true. Yep. I was
true.
learning my maths.
I'm so old.
Geometry hard.
Geometry's still hard. But I think we either got them in or we knew we were about to get them in. But a coworker of mine was like, "Oh, let's make a Master Chief helmet," and just took a cardboard box and drew the face on it and, like, cut a little slit on the top and put, like, you know, so the visor from, like, another piece of box or whatever. And we're just, like, laughing at it, whatever. It's funny. And then we had the idea to you know, play a little fun prank on the dude. So we called him. We're like, "Hey, man, like, don't tell anybody. We got the collector's editions in. And the helmet is so fucking cool." And he's like, "Oh, shit, I can't wait." And we're like, "Do you want to come see it?" And he's like, "What?" We're like, "Yeah, do you want to... You can come see it. Like, we can't put it on the floor, obviously. But we know you. You know, come on down. We'll bring you into the back so you can see it." So call him down. I don't think we had them at the time. And we're like, he's like, "Oh, I'm here. Let's see it." And it was just like, you know, it's like a little GameStop. And you go to a GameStop, you have the back room. So It was essentially just the back room. And the idea was that he would go back there and see, you know, somebody either wearing the helmet or just see the cardboard helmet. We're like, "Look at this thing. It's so cool." But at the last minute, my coworker decided, "Oh, I'm going to be back there with the helmet on, holding an acoustic guitar, naked."
Oh, yeah. Cherry on top.
Why not? So,
yeah.
And I don't really feel, because it was a funny prank, you know, and he was laughing, and he's like, "Oh yeah, it's funny." Maybe he wasn't laughing, maybe he was just laughing because of whatever. But we're like, "Hey, come on back here." So we, like, let him back there, and he opens up. It was like a weird, like, kind of fence that was the fucking layout of the store was weird. So it was like a fence. He opens the fence door, looks around, turns the corner, and my coworker is sitting there with this cardboard Master Chief helmet in his underwear, but, like, the acoustic guitar is covering it, and he's just like, yeah. And it was the funniest fucking thing that ever happened in that store. And then the store closed down.
Yeah. I mean, it's long gone now, but I'm sure HR would have loved that story.
We were in a
Wow.
place. If we weren't working in the store that we were working in, because like we were like the worst fucking store in Utah
Mhm.
at that point. I think by the time that I left, we were much better. But like when I got there and like kind of when this happened, we're in a little shithole town, population of 12, and there was a GameStop in town too. So like it was not, this was like a really we
Yeah.
the fact that we could have somebody come into the store and we could bring them in the back and nobody would say anything because nobody saw anything, like, whatever.
Hmm.
But actually, if I remember correctly, we did have it, and then we let him see it, and we are like, yeah, you can't actually wear it, and he was bummed too. But yeah, that's just my memory of Halo
Oh,
3.
that's amazing. That is. I mean, does someone still have that cardboard helmet? Because that might be worth more sentimental
It
wise, you
fucking
know?
might be, yeah. I wish I still had it. Let's see here. Okay. Nate, so do you want to read what you wrote in the chat earlier in the general?
I mean, if you want me to just expand on it, yeah, we can talk about that for a minute because I think it is time we move on to the next Halo game.
Yeah.
That was called Peak earlier, and I have to agree.
Yeah. I was going to read a couple of other submissions.
Oh yeah, go for it.
I was wondering if you wanted to read yours and kind of expand upon it. Is it about? I haven't read any of them. I'll be
It's
honest.
about Reach,
Yeah.
so we can, yeah, if you want to hold off, get some others in
Okay.
there
Fair
first.
enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Let's see. I think I posted it in a bunch of different discords. Seeing if there's any replies there. Nope. Okay. Okay. Over in Send Nuggies Discord, Hero of Time 73, our good friend. Memory, unlocking the birthday party grunt skull in every game. Also, coming home from school to play Firefight in Halo Reach with my buddy for hours on end. DC Hard Rocker says Halo 2 is the game that sort of pushed me into online console gaming and got me away from dial-up internet. Opened up a whole new world. Fuck and or
Yeah.
yes. Thank you for the follow.
Huh?
Grow Up Level Up podcast. Another
Oh
great
yeah.
fucking gaming podcast. Neo Aoshi says,
Uh oh. Here we go.
we're going to be. Fuck. I spent way too long back in the day trying to find the trick to get outside of Blood Gulch. If I remember right, you could use a Banshee or Warthog to get yourself outside of the map. I would use that to fuck with my friends who I used to play in multiplayer. It's fair. Also, I used to have a lot of memories of inviting a whole bunch of people over from school with their Xboxes, and we would link up in the living room and run a cable to the kitchen with another big-ass CRTV so we could have big battles. Yeah, I think Neo Aoshi, you came in a bit
Huge.
late, but we were talking about, like, full-on the LAN parties that I used to go to in high school for the original Halo, and 4 Xboxes in 4 rooms with 4 TVs. Everybody wanted to be on Brandon's team because he was a fucking menace. All right?
Fucking
Lipstick
Brandon.
was too fucking good at that game. And he's still too fucking good at every goddamn first-person shooter. It's
Doesn't
insane.
everyone knows that person in
Yeah.
their life that's like, hey, you can pick up any of this specific type of game and just murder at it? Like, what are you talking about? I want that skill.
Yeah. That's Brandon. That is Lipstick. He is. Yeah. The only reason that I've ever won any online shooting, like games at all, was if I was playing with Brandon and David. And they do not like playing with me because I just bring them down. So, my buddies and I thought we could practice and win tourneys. It was great.
Yeah.
Batgirl misses LAN parties. Fucking me too. Gabi says, I have a group of friends that still get together about once a year for a Halo 3 LAN party. Fuck yeah. So we're all going to Gabi's house next year for a Halo 3 LAN party. You were going to LAN parties for Halo 1. Heroic Headgear was going to baby showers. I don't even think he was going to the baby showers. He was
I
the
was-
subject of the baby
I
shower.
was the baby show. Yep.
Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, so Halo Reach. We got a few more. We'll go over those in a bit. Okay. So Halo Reach was the next release, right?
It was, yes.
Yeah. I believe so, yeah.
Maybe maybe there was like one small thing, like a light gun game or something in there.
When? Oh, I think Halo Wars.
Halo Wars 1, yes.
Yes.
Which also I did enjoy. That is not, I mean, it's not in the like top 5 favorites, but it is a good time.
And Halo Wars, if I'm mistaken, please let me know, but this was the original idea of Halo, was for it to be an RTS on the PS2 and actually on the Mac.
On the Mac, yeah.
It's supposed to be like a Mac exclusive RTS, and I don't know the full story, but ended up being the Halo that we all know and love on the Xbox now. But once again, this was an RTS that for the most part was built for console, which is another genre that is just not historically done well on console. And being able to build the entire game for the controller, and for those who are not aware, this is a very old episode of Storymoders, but we did a tier ranking for every video game controller ever, and number 1 on the list is Bad Boy.
The 360, hell yeah.
The Xbox 360 controller. That was, for me, that was my number 1 with a bullet. I think for Mike it was the Wavebird, I think.
Back up? The what?
The Wavebird? For the GameCube.
Wavebird.
Is it the Wavebird? Is it called the Wavebird?
Is that what the GameCube controller is? Because I've only ever heard it called the GameCube controller.
No, so the GameCube controller is the GameCube controller. The Wavebird, unless I'm mistaken, it's that, but it's the wireless version.
Oh,
and it's like the official Nintendo wireless version.
I had no idea.
Yeah, the Wavebird is the wireless. Okay, cool. It is that is what it was called. Yeah, it's the wireless one. So I think for a lot of people prefer it because it, I think, has like a little more heft to it than the normal GameCube one. But yeah, Xbox 360 controller. I know that a company like made this and did like a version, like an updated version for the series, but it's wired. I would love for a fucking wireless one of these for the Xbox Series X. 3 people saying Wavebird at the same time. Nerds. Every last one of them deserves a wedgie. True. But yeah, Halo Wars. I, be honest, never played Halo Wars 1 or 2.
They're good. I mean, I think the one thing that latched on to me the most was, hey, look, it's more cool-ass Spartans that aren't Chief doing cool-ass Spartan stuff. And I remember a lot more of the, like, cutscenes from the single player. I didn't do any multiplayer, and the gameplay was, like, I mean, it's fine. I didn't hate it, but I'm not a huge RTS guy, so it was more play on the easiest difficulty and the way they want me to play to get to the next story beat.
Would you say that you played the game on story mode?
I would.
That's what we're named after. It's not a car thing anymore. That was last week. I don't know. Okay. Downloadable content. Yep. It was developed by Ensemble Studios. It was originally a 360 exclusive. Okay. But Halo Reach, Halo ODST, and Halo Reach. What is...
Yeah. Oh my gosh. How could we forget about ODST?
Yeah.
So this also another very, very big one to me because I love the change of pace. It is such a... In the other Halo games, you are, big, invincible Spartan man. You are a super soldier, top of the line. You're mowing down hundreds and hundreds. ODST, it takes it back a step. You're not as invincible. You have no shields. It is... A lot of the combat encounters are scaled down from what was in, like, 3. And something about the mood change of, now you're boots on the ground in the city during the invasion during Halo 2.
Yeah.
And it's rainy, it's moody, you have silenced weapons. You're a literal silent protagonist now. Rookie doesn't say anything.
Yeah. Game is a prologue to Halo 3, which fills in the details of what happened in southeastern Kenya from Halo 2 to Halo 3. Yeah, as you said. I remember this one coming out and people being... and I think Noah says it, like, this is exactly what it felt like. ODST was not what I wanted from Halo when it came out, but now that I go back and play it, I really enjoy it. It seemed like... and this, I guess this kind of is what it is, because it is called Halo 3 ODST. Like, it was a side thing that probably should have just been DLC or something.
Yeah.
And just felt like, oh, why are they doing this? You know, but you go back and play it now, and you're like, oh, no, you're telling the story, and you're fleshing out more of the story, and it's incredible.
And also Nathan Fillion.
That too. Nathan Fillion makes everything better.
Very important, yes.
Yeah, he does. I was trying to think of anything else. Blaster Goblin, Gabi, says, ODST is without a doubt the greatest Halo story in the entire series. Fair enough.
There's an argument in there, yeah.
Yep, Mjolnir, I fucking love ODST. It is one of the GOATs of the series. Fair enough.
I have an ODST helmet behind me for video watchers and the stream people.
Yeah. Is it wearable?
I love that it's this one is wearable. Yeah. It's one of those things that ODST now, it is so loved and revered that like it's got its own kind of splinter group of fans within like the Halo community. Mm-hmm. You know, there's people that are like, oh, I'm all about the Spartans and the super side, and then those that are like, hey, the slow tactical, the guys that drop in behind the lines and sneak their way around. It's really cool the way it's like you can all enjoy this one franchise, but there's really a couple different ways.
There's a couple different paths. Yeah. But then, actually, when did 3 came out in 2007? Okay. Yeah, so we got this in 2009, and then 2010, Halo Reach. A direct prequel to Halo, depicting the fall of Reach. And you said this is what your message was about, right?
Yeah. So Reach was probably the biggest, like, summertime friends come over and you all play in the same house game. Mm-hmm. Reach was, I mean, probably one of my favorite multiplayer games ever. If I were to have to rank them, it's in the top 5 at least. And largely in part of not just the amazing campaign, which was absolutely phenomenal in the way it's like, hey, you get to be your own Spartan is the lead of the story. Mm-hmm. I loved that change. They're like, all right, let's take a break from Chief. We know how 3 ends, and like, let's let you hang on that. Be your own dude. Step into Noble 6. Make him look however you want and play however you want. And you're just put in the middle of this super badass team and able to go through that as your Spartan and have a friend join you in co-op, making there 7 Noble members and you both looking unique. It's something that they only did the once and haven't done since.
Yep. Yeah. Is this the one? Or is it Odia? I think it's this one. Where, like, the last level is just you survive as long as you can.
Yes, it is.
Is that this
Reach. Yeah, objective, survive.
Yeah, and that, for me, like, I don't remember most of the story of the game, but I remember playing through that and getting to that ending, and it's just, survive. Objective, survive. Nothing else. You're not doing any. You're just killing, and
mm-hmm.
and you're just killing to continue the game because you don't want it to end.
Blaster brings up spent days trying to see how long you can hold out on that mission,
Exactly.
and I think everyone that's played this has been through that. That it's like, is there something special if I last a certain amount of time? And
If
you just
I
have to
just
see.
continue staying alive, am I good? No. Oh, Gabi also says, my friends acted like I was crazy for loving ODST when it released, but now people see things my way. Resident Evil 6 is next. I'm telling you, people will love it soon. All right.
About that.
Yeah. Reach was the only game I did the classic kid job of mowing random people's lawns to save money so I could buy it at launch, says Gabi.
That's
Fair enough.
great. Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. Let me see here. I'm gonna read what you wrote in the Discord if that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So Heroic Headgear writes, back in the glory days of Halo Reach, I was the designated Forge friend of the group, so I would build maps and modes for all the homies to play together when we all could stay the night at someone's place on a weekend. Imagine that, you building custom levels. It's weird.
Yeah.
I put a ridiculous amount of time refining a big gladiator arena over multiple weeks just for it to get played twice, simply because we all moved on to Halo 4 shortly after. Yep. Yeah, seems not much has changed as I'm still making fun experiences for all the friends across multiple games now. You very much are.
That Forge mode. Man, that was another, this is an innovation that like no other game is doing creator-made maps like this. What are you talking about? I can make I turned that like Blood Gulch style area in Forge World into a fighting arena that was massive. And I was able to refine the game mode that like, everyone spawns with swords and hammers. There are power-ups scattered throughout the place. There was a lot of verticality, places to hide, and the things you could build in that Forge mode, it's still to this day really unrivaled.
Yeah. Are you sure? Have you played Fallout 76?
I have.
Oh, fair enough. Okay. Another one in the Storymoders chat. Nerd a Day, Carlos Rodriguez, friend of the show, former guest, I believe. At least he's been on a couple things, yeah. I'll never forget the midnight release for Halo 3. Me and a bunch of my friends at the time went and lined up at the GameStop we used to work at, and while we were in line, my wife brought her margarita maker and plugged it into our car and made us margaritas while we waited in line. I thought I felt old. Not anymore. We all drove back to our friends, that you shouldn't do that, friend's house and ended up playing till 4 a.m. getting our asses kicked by kids who were in Australia. Then, after getting home at 4:30 a.m., I slept about 4 hours before I had to go to work.
Iconic.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. That hustle, that grind to desperately play this game. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So yeah, Halo Reach, just... And let me look at the release dates here. So 9 was ODST, 3 ODST, 10 was Reach. 9 was also Halo Wars, but like let's kind of look at that as almost a separate thing. So 7 was Halo 3, 9 ODST, 10 Halo Reach, 2012 Halo 4. With Halo Wars released in kind of in between there. I think that may have been one of the reasons why it kind of almost felt underwhelming when it first came out. Because we got ODST, which was Halo 3 ODST. Here's extra content for the game that you already have, but it's a thing that you have to buy separately. It's not just a DLC thing. Because I think even that at the time was still fairly early on in like the expansions for games.
Yeah.
So we got ODST as a separate purchase, and then Halo Reach came out. And I think at least for some of my friends, when this one came out, it was like, but this isn't 4, this isn't like, this is a new one, but is it the same as ODST where it's like just built on the same thing? Is this supposed to be Halo 3? And I think I remember that kind of being part of the conversation is this just another side story that I'm not really going to care about? But then, looking back, now, that's what it was like. But if I'm pretty sure if I were to play through the games now, like today, and I'm like, oh yeah, no, this just feels like it's just part of the canon. It just doesn't have a number at the end of it.
Yeah, it was just a prequel without getting cute with it with the numbers or anything. Trying to do like a Halo 0 or whatever.
Yeah, don't shit on Yakuza 0. It's one of the best games in the whole fucking series.
I didn't say Yakuza.
Okay. Gabi says, no game has had a creation suite that rivals Halo Reach's Forge. That is why I selected it for June 12th. I was going to bring that up. It's not a shameless plug. I was going to bring that up anyway, Gabi. Gabi's 100th stream, because he documents these like a fucking psychopath. His 100th stream will be on June 12th, and he is playing Halo Reach with the community. Hit him up for more details, or just go to his BS, that's Blue Sky Tim, or over in his Discord, or he'll probably, I'll tell you right now, post the information in our Storymoders Discord. June 12th, his 100th stream is playing Halo Reach with the community. I don't know if Forge is still active there, Nate.
It is on Master Chief Collection specifically.
That's what he's playing, is Master Chief Collection.
Yes.
So if you want to,
the Forge is working there. Yeah.
If you wanted to make something special for Gabi's 100th stream, you don't have to.
We have already talked about this, and very unfortunately, I am getting back at I think 2 a.m. on the 12th. So from a trip from Florida. So depending on jet lag and how my day goes, there's a chance that I'm there, but I don't know how much prep work I can actually do for this one.
Yeah, fair enough. Gabi also says, ODST also came with the multiplayer disc that had all the Halo 3 DLC maps, which I think, once again, thinking back, like that, at least in my mind, that made it just feel like, oh, this is lesser than, like, this isn't a full experience, even though it is, but it was just like, oh, it's just so tied into this other thing.
Yeah.
He has a hell of a curated list of maps and game types for the stream. Fuck yeah. Gabi, I will be there. I'm pretty sure Mike is going to be there as well. Heroic Headgear might be there. He just doesn't love you as much as we do.
I'll try.
Yeah. I mean, first off, you're going to Florida. Ugh, gross.
Universal Studios. That place sucks.
It's better in California.
We've been to the California parks. We wanted to.
Yeah.
I've never been to the East Coast at all. So,
look, I'm gonna say another thing that might get me canceled. Other than I like MC Chris. Okay.
Here we go.
Harry Potter World in Florida. So much better. So much better than California. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Heard.
It has Nocturnally, so it has like an entire extra part from the one in California. Yeah.
Okay. Good to hear.
Yeah.
You chose right then.
Yeah. That's like, other than that, I think for the most part, it's just, I think my biggest gripe with Universal Studios in Florida, and it's a big / small thing, there's no studio tour, and that's one of my favorite parts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're totally right.
And that's kind of like, for me, the reason that I like California more, studio tour. I do it every time I go there. Even if it's the same shit every time. I don't give a fuck. Even if now it is just fucking Jimmy Fallon on a screen in front of me being like, oh, it's weird, I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll do it every fucking time. I love.
That was perfect. That was exactly him.
That was a great Jimmy Fallon.
That was fantastic, yeah.
Turns out I have one impression. Wait, what's wrong with MC Chris? I don't know. Some people have opinions. Yeah. Gabi also says, Nate, if you can make it late, pop in for a game or two. If not, we'll play in your honor.
We'll see.
Perfect. Yeah. I will make sure that I get it installed. Because I think last time I had some friends that were playing Master Chief Collection, I was like, oh yeah, I'll hop in and play with you. And then I was like, oh, I got to install it really quick. Nah,
really
that's
quick.
not happening tonight. That's not happening tonight.
Yeah.
Halo 4 This is,
Halo
I'll be
4.
completely honest. This is after my time. I have not played Halo 4 at all.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So Halo 4, very, very big to me. One, I hate the art style change. I think that
Okay.
style of armor is far less iconic and cool looking. Regardless, fucking love this game. I think it is one of
Really?
the best campaigns in the franchise. The whole story of Cortana and the rampancy, and it, the first 3 games with Cortana and Chief, it's like the relationship is there, but it's kind of surface level. They don't actually like really get deep into character stuff between the two of them. 4 gets real deep, and it really brings up these ideas of like love, but not in like a sexual manner of any way,
Yeah.
more of
Yeah.
companionship and a dependency on someone that isn't even entirely human, and that works both ways.
Yeah.
And it's about loss and letting go, and there's a lot of really, really good themes to this game. And I think, unfortunately, it's overlooked because some other parts of it weren't great. The multiplayer, I think, is the weakest in the franchise.
Yeah.
So that's, when you're talking about Halo, that's a very, very big stain.
Yeah. As much as the campaign can be great, I think Halo, quite a few first-person shooters actually. Like, if your multiplayer is not there, it doesn't matter how great the campaign is. If the multiplayer is not there, it's not going to matter. And that's I think you see that with like Call of Duty every year. They're like, oh, we've got this whole new campaign, and a lot of the comments are like, who gives a fuck? What's the new multiplayer stuff happening? Like, what am I going to be able to do this or this or this? And no matter how good the campaign is, like, was it Black Ops? Was it?
Oh, the most
6?
recent one? 4?
Is the most recent one 7?
Or 6 is what I mean. No, wait. Yes. God, you see, they effed it because they threw in Cold War, which doesn't have a number, and then they continued with the numbers. So
yeah, but like
who knows?
6 people fucking loved the campaign, and it was super high. And then 7 came out, and all I heard about the campaign was that I wish it was 6, and then I'm annoyed that I have to install this in order to continue playing some other multiplayer stuff, And
of course, they tried to frame it as it's a sequel to Black Ops 2, but then it was just completely butchered.
Okay.
And yeah.
Let's call it Black Ops 3. Who gives a fuck? You already made 2 Modern Warfares and Modern Warfare 2s. Who cares?
And one of the Black Ops didn't even have a campaign. So what are we doing?
Just name it fucking Call of Duty 26. And this year, or 25. This year's is Call of Duty 26. Just be a fucking sports franchise.
Go to Madden rules. Yeah.
You're a yearly franchise. When's the next Call of Duty? Is there a Call of Duty World Championship thing?
Always, at some point, yeah.
Okay, when's the next one? Somebody look that up in chat if you could.
Wrong person to ask.
Somebody in chat, look up the next Call of Duty like World Championship. The biggest, whatever the fuck they do. Gabi in chat.
Madden naming, yeah.
Yeah, Gabi in chat says, love the Halo 4 campaign, but that multiplayer is train wreck and a half. That's exactly what you said.
Yep.
Campaign is solid, but campaign is only going to make up 5% of my playtime in a Halo game, says Noah.
Yeah.
And Gabi also mentions Master Chief Collection has a wonky-ass install system. You can install only a single game like Reach, but you have to first install the entire MCC, and then from inside the game, uninstall all the games you don't want.
Yeah, so I just deal with having all of them installed all of the time.
Yeah. Honestly, that might be a thing where I have to play it in my living room, because in my living room I've got my Series X. Here in my streaming room, it's just a Series S, and I feel like if I delete everything from this Series S, I'm not going to have enough room for Master Chief Collection.
That's completely possible. Yeah, I keep mine on an external hard drive that I just move over when I need, because that's quicker than installing a whole game. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's an Xbox One game, so the external hard drive works.
It probably just runs off it. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's fair. That's fair. All right, Halo 4. Next, we had Halo 5 Guardians. 4 and 5, I never touched.
So 5, kind of a flip-flop. Campaign, doo-doo dog water.
Is this the one where all of a sudden Master Chief's the bad guy or something?
Yeah, so it's one of those things where the story was kind of going in one direction and all of the promotional lead up. And then you get to the actual story of the game and you're like, that's not what we were signing up for. Wait a minute, what? Why is, huh? And yeah, there are a lot of concepts there that could have been very, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, we play 70, probably 80% of the game as this new Spartan, Locke, who is originally from Oni, ONI, which is like the human boogeyman of the Halo universe. And he's supposed to be this, Spartan 4 that is meant to rival Chief. And that could have been done in a cool way. But instead, they make it where the majority of the story is him chasing after Chief. And then I think 4 missions total being Chief chasing after like echoes of Cortana. And the balance was done very, very wrong. It should have been so much more lead up of a more in-depth reason as to why Locke is going after Chief. Chief having like an actual...
Locke? The dude from Lost?
Yep, same one.
It's crazy.
Same guy.
It's crazy.
It suffers from a lot of pacing issues and yes, story stuff that should have been shifted around a little bit. But on the flip side, I have probably 1,500 hours in the multiplayer because that is such a good time. They introduced, before Call of Duty, they had a mode called Warzone. Now think of big team battle, but on each side, there is power-ups and stuff that you can earn through playing good and capture points that are more than just like, oh, here's a flag with a zone. They're like entire buildings that you have to kind of secure. And then in the mix, AI on both teams and neutral AI that would be like bosses that show up on the map that, you can meet there, take them out, get points for your team. And of course, that would always lead to the enemy team trying to do the same. And it was a really dynamic, large-scale game mode that I am so baffled hasn't come back because it was done so well.
Yeah. Yeah. Verum Dex in chat. Welcome in, Dex. We love you. They somehow thought people wanted to not play as Master Chief.
Yeah. Who had that idea?
Neo Aoshi, are you still here? Noah says Halo 5 multiplayer is maybe my favorite in the franchise. For a game that is so kind of derided by games media, I guess. Thank you, Neo. That's exactly what I was going to ask you about. It's it's a Solid Snake / Raiden situation. That's exactly what I was going to ask you about is that Metal Gear Solid 2. Hey, here's all this stuff. Here's Solid Snake and all of the pre-release information. And then you're Raiden. Yeah. But not the cool Raiden from fucking Mortal Kombat. Some, sexy twink that just hops around.
And Halo 5 did it in a very similar, large way where not only, we're back, we're Chief, going after Cortana, you also have Blue Team with you, which is Chief's squad from the books and comics and stuff that we don't really see in the Core 3 games. But they're mentioned here and there, and finally they all are actually playable, and they're the other squad members during the campaign. Yeah. That's super cool. Play as them 3 times.
Now, Nate, what do you have thoughts on Halo Infinite?
I fucking adore Halo Infinite.
Okay. What I'm going
This
to ask
was
you to
the
do, what I'm
yeah.
going to ask you really quick, I'm going to pull it up on the screen. Okay. I have an AirPod in so I can hear you.
Okay.
I have to pee real bad.
Oh, great. Yes.
So
Do
if
you
you
want me
can
to just
talk
wax
about Halo
poetic about
Infinite,
Halo
yes,
Infinite?
please.
Chat, I'm about to be so insufferable. You just
Fuck
wait.
yes. They anybody that hears or listens every week, they hear me. I talk way too much. So yeah, go ahead.
Gamers, let me bring you back a couple years ago, all right? The Xbox Series X. It's going to launch with a Halo. Hold on. No, it's not. Wait a second, it's been delayed. But don't worry, it's going to be really good when it comes out. It's called Halo Infinite, and it's going to last for 10 years. Hold on. No, it's not. Maybe 4? We'll see. Anyways, the campaign, this time, open world. Fucking rad. After you do stuff, that's kind of it's empty. It's not an open world like most open world games where you have more to do after doing certain stuff. Anyways, the story really cool. It's about Cortana. Nah, yeah, it's not. It's new Cortana. So she's based on the old Cortana. The old Cortana shows up a couple times in like flashback stuff. She's purple now. Again? Now again? Was before. Blue for a while. Anyways, new Cortana called the Weapon. Doesn't really understand that she's Cortana. Anyways, it's a cool dynamic. Chief dealing with his feelings of this thing is a duplicate of this hologram lady that's in my head that calls me Stud Muffin. And but it's not the same one, and you're using her for a mission that's like over now. So she like should be deactivated, but you kind of need her, so you give her new purpose. Anyways, the Banished are here. Do you play Halo Wars 2? No. They're the bad guys in that one. Anyway, there's this really big bad guy Banished called Atriox? I think that's right. The coolest looking brute you've ever seen. Anyways, he kicks Chief's ass in the first 5 minutes. It's wild. He's gone. You don't see him again. Anyway, the Banished, they won the fight on the ring. And things are looking bad for the UNSC. But don't worry, Chief gets found and he's back down on the ring. And you go through the open world, and it's pretty cool. There's some really great story points. Don't get me wrong. The core narrative of it, fantastic. The open world itself could be better. Anyway, there's multiplayer. Y'all want to hear about that? Doesn't launch with Firefight though. What are we doing? Anyway, the core multiplayer, it's really good. It feels like an old Halo, but with modern sensibilities. It's really fun. The gunplay feels fantastic. Hits are like chunky with the right guns and feel precise with the others. There's a total of 6 maps. We'll add one every 3 months. Please stick around. Did I mention there's no firefight on launch? What the fuck are we doing? Anyways, there's some good big team stuff. And then after 2 years, we add firefight finally. And then after that, they there's a Call of Duty Zombies type mode that I really like. That's actually the best thing to play to level up. And that was last year, so we're basically caught up. Anyways, development has ceased. Halo Infinite's not getting more updates. Anyway, that's kind of the story of that. Not very infinite, is it?
That was beautiful. That was fucking beautiful. Chat, give it up. Drop some gift subs. They're not going to go to Nate. They'll go to me. But still, drop some gift subs. Let's fucking do it. That was beautiful. I played...
Anyways, I love this game, if you couldn't tell. Listen, if you were gone for another 5 minutes, I would have gone into cosmetics and could have rambled for another 10.
You fucking go for it. Go for it. Yeah. I was just like listening, and I was like, oh, yeah, he's having a good time. I'm gonna go to the kitchen, grab a drink. Yeah. So I got a water.
I'm passionate about this game, if you couldn't tell.
And if I when I finish this, if we're still going, it might be the first time that anyone watching the podcast will ever see me drink water.
Wow. Big.
I
Very big.
hate drinking water. Yeah. It has no taste. Yet it tastes like shit. What the fuck?
Noah brings up audio design, best in the series. Completely true. Yes.
Fair enough.
Very big part is that game sounds immaculate.
Yeah, Gabi says, I adore Halo Infinite. It is a 10 out of 10 multiplayer game. I never once opened the campaign. Fair.
It's fun.
Big Hammer gives you the props. This is the best breakdown of Infinite. I'm here for it.
Is that the only breakdown of Infinite you've got?
More than likely.
A lot out
Still,
there. Anyways,
who cares? Doesn't matter. It's still the best one. Noah's whole thing says, I've got a lot of time in Halo Infinite. Best campaign since Reach, and a really good multiplayer, but not as good as 5. And the audio design is the best in the series.
I think he's right about it not being as good as 5, not because of the way it plays, but because the amount of content. 5 had, like, you said you didn't play it. Every single gun, at the very least, had like 4 variants that either the ammo type was different, its damage of output, or like literally how it functioned. Every gun had so much like different uses, and then Infinite stripped all that away.
And this is in multiplayer or the single player?
Yeah, in multiplayer. So like the standard sniper that everyone knows, I think there's 5 different variants of it. One that's like, oh, it's super quick firing and has 8 rounds in a mag. There's one that's like, oh, you only have 2 rounds, but they hit like a effing truck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So there was a lot in 5 that like, I mean, it could have made Infinite so much better if they just kept. But
now, does it feel like Infinite is just wholly disconnected from 5? Because to me, as at this point in the Halo franchise, like, I'm an outsider, okay? Mm-hmm. And for me, it always felt like Halo 5, like Guardians, it's the black sheep, and everyone's like, oh, that's the, for any, big community fans, like, that's the gas leak year.
Yep.
Okay, we can forget about that. Just forget about it. And Infinite was like, oh no, this is the return to form to forget about Halo 5. Is that, am I kind of correct in thinking that, or?
Yeah, you're totally correct, and I think on their part it was an overcorrection. That there was a lot of good in 5 that they chose to carve out rather than keep.
Okay. Verum Dex, once again, Sexy Dexy, says, Infinite's story could have been its God of War 2018 moment, but in my opinion, they didn't go far enough with Chiefs and Cortana's relationship and his humanity. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Absolutely. I echo that, yeah.
Gabi says, didn't know you drank anything non-alcoholic? So two different non-alcoholic beers. These are the last 2 that I have, because I drank the other 10 on Friday while we were all playing Forza. Because I wanted to drink beer, but I didn't want to get drunk. So I have non-alcoholic beers. And these are both really good. So, Gabi. Oh, he's just leaving. Yeah. All packed for my trip. Wish I could have been on. I did invite Gabi on this episode as well. He packed for a trip. He's heading to bed. Mm-hmm. Not instead of you, but I was like, fuck yeah, we'll do 3 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's avoiding me. He's mad that I'm a mod on Cam's stream now. That's a whole thing. I can tell. He doesn't have to say it, but it's in his words.
Well, if Cam would ever join us for a live Storymoders, even in chat, that'd be great, but he hates me.
One day.
I'm just kidding. He loves me. I've got so many fucking friendship design.
Oh, yeah. Right all over my wall behind my camera. Yeah.
Noah says, Infinite is in a vacuum for both good and bad. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the most recent Halo game, is Halo Infinite. And as someone who has actually played the entire campaign for all these games, how's the storyline? How do you think, not just like the overall, oh yeah, it's him versus aliens, like,
yeah.
do these games actually go together? Like, do you feel like if you played them Reach through Infinite, you're like, this is a whole fucking story, like, and everything kind of fits together for the most part, because obviously,
Yeah. So I would say yes, up until probably the 4 or 5 Infinite situation.
Really?
Because, yeah, 4, of course, it's easy to track. Going 3 to 4, fine. 4 to 5 is a little muddy because there's some context that is only found in other media outside the games, books, etc. There's a podcast that I love called
Storymoders.
Halo.
Got it.
Yeah, Halo Hunt the Truth, and it's not a podcast. It is an audio drama that it is in the form of a podcast, but it treats the viewer as if you are a listener in the Halo world, and it goes through the events of like leading up to the game. Oh, Chief is a traitor. Everyone turning their backs on him. There's a big conspiracy. The public finds out about child soldiers becoming Spartans, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then the story from 5 to Infinite, also not a great hop because 5 ends very much on a cliffhanger that you think it's going to go one way. And then Infinite comes around and it's like, oh, actually it went another and we came down a different path to get here.
Yeah.
But you don't have that middle chunk. And part of that middle chunk is actually Halo Wars 2 because the Banished are the enemies of Halo Infinite. And if you haven't played Wars 2, you're like, who the what? And they are, at the most basic sense, in their name, Banished. They are the aliens that were excommunicated from the Covenant. It's really that simple. They all banded together, became something even stronger. Anyways, you miss a lot of that if you didn't play Halo Wars, and also there's some books and comics in between there. So, like, yes, you could still, from Reach to Infinite, play it and understand the story. But towards the later ones, you start to miss some context.
Mm-hmm. Okay. By the way, on screen for everyone else, it's just the two of us. I'm going to pull this up here in a moment. I'm just playing it so you can see it. Just going to read chat here really quick. Dex says, Infinite is like Halo's Majora's Mask in premise. Funny little realization. I don't understand that reference. Because
no, I mean,
fuck Zelda.
Okay, hold on. I won't take that. Okay. I'll let that go.
Really quick. Follow up.
Okay. I heard. Understood.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
I like where your head's at, Dex, but I don't entirely think so, because it is still a continuation, and it's the same character. They're not dealing with time travel bullshit, making you a child again. Child Chief. Now.
Baby Chief!
Give me a game of that.
Noah says, Combat Evolved's Reach is a story. 4 through Infinite are different in that 4 technically fits in with the earlier games, but it feels more modern, and I associate it more with the launching point of 5 than the conclusion of what was before it, even though the inverse really is true narratively. I think I read those words. I think I understand, but I'm not entirely sure. Yeah. Dex says, 4 was such a strong start to the 343 era of Halo, and I wish they could have kept that momentum going. Neo Aoshi says some bullshit. Dex says, Link is going to find Navi. I don't know what Avatar has to do with this. And Chief is going to find Cortana, and they are both accompanied by companions who resemble the one they are looking for.
I mean, in the most basic sense, yeah, sure. In that way, it's like Majora's Mask. Anyway, where's the giant moon, Dex? Anyways.
I think I used that giant moon as a meme for something a while ago.
All right, Big Hammer.
All right, Big Hammer.
I'm not a mod here, so I can't ban you, but just so you know.
But Majora's Mask isn't fun. Yeah. I got a couple more write-ins, and then we'll, quickly talk about kind of the future of
Yeah.
Halo. Yeah, so over in... Actually, we'll do this one first. Actually, hold on. Over in Drop In, Drop Out. Noah, is this you? This might be the same Noah. Maybe you're not. But over in the Drop In, Drop Out Discord, Noah says, Halo 3 was my first midnight launch. I had an uncle who was really into gaming, and he convinced my mom to let me participate if he went with me. I also got to take that day off from school, and we played for like 18 hours. It was amazing. Fuck. And yes. The young Neil said, I'll never forget the first time I played the Zombies custom game in Halo 2 and realized that online gaming had the sauce. Noah, I'm like 90% sure Halo 2 is my first online gaming experience. It's definitely where I learned what teabagging means.
Oh, very important. Very, very big to gamer culture.
And Squanky Joinkers replied to that comment saying, Patrick from Dido promised if I go to the next live Dido event, he'd finally show me what teabagging means.
Fantastic. I hope that happens one day.
My God, please, and then videotape it. What was this? I think somebody else replied in here as well. Maybe not. Nope, my thing was just being a dumb piece of shit. Oh no. Cognitive Clips just replied in a different thread here. I still remember being like 11 years old playing the OG Halo with my brother and our cousins. We were doing CTF on the big icy level. Anyone? I know the level. I don't know the name, but I know the fucking level.
Lockout? I know that's a big icy one.
Yeah. And on the big icy level, and my cousin was escaping with the flag and the warthog, I pulled out my rocket launcher, led it perfectly, and took him out from way up on the cliffs. Fuck yeah, Cognitive Clips. I wish that you were in chat. I love all the Dido peeps. I would love for them to hang out with us a little bit more, but it's up to them. They're busy.
They are busy.
They're busy.
It's tough trying to get all the Dido folks to do stuff. Yeah. Trust me. I mean, us at the Content Mill, we're trying to also make it happen with them. They're a busy group.
You know what? Fuck them.
Okay, I wouldn't go that far.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm drunk. Don't. Anyway, last comments here were from Corner of the Internet, which is I think that is that the Content Mill Discord?
Yeah, it's kind of it's a great little amalgamation of everything.
Okay.
So it's not just Content Mill. We have a decent amount of other friends and other stuff to see on there. The whole draw is that, everyone has their corner. You can find your corner of the internet here. So there's a large variety of stuff there. Yeah.
One of my favorite Discords that I'm in now because it's very lively and, just full of cool ass people. Mr. The Human says, making a mongoose racetrack in Forge in Halo 3. Honestly, just messing around in Forge and Halo 3 in general. Tons of shenanigans went down in there. And
the custom races that people would make, yeah. So good.
I remember doing the fucking races in Halo 3 and like Halo 2 and Halo 3, getting the Warthog and just... I think it was before people were doing Forge, so we were just doing like the normal...
Yeah, the round around the map as it's based, yeah.
Because I was like, I can't... I'm shit at shooting people. Brandon's the shooter. Megan's the shooter. I'm going to get in the Warthog and fucking drive around. Yeah. Gianni says, ooh, love this. Stop reading there because I just like the compliment. I remember I got OG Halo with my Xbox on Christmas morning. Me, my brother, and my dad played through the whole campaign together and spent hundreds of hours playing Battle Creek free-for-all matches with our own custom rules. I don't play a ton of FPS games anymore, but that one title made me fall in love with the franchise alongside co-op gaming in general. It's a core memory for sure. Fuck yeah. War Dog 2 says, Halo, the only one I really played was Reach. I watched my cousins play the others. And Mr. the Human responds with, incredible choice for the only one to play.
Yeah, it really is. If there's one you're going to pick up, it's not a bad one.
Electro the Doggo says, Halo Reach is my all-time favorite Halo game. And War Dog says, Halo Reach is what got me into the franchise. I even read some of the books that were written. I forgot the names of them now, but there was even an animated film with the plot from one of those books too. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be Fall of Reach. That like follows Chief in his kind of becoming of the Master Chief, going from a kid to then the Fall of Reach.
Yeah. It is. It's so, like, fucking Halo, man.
Fucking Halo, man.
And like I mentioned kind of earlier, you know, like Halo 3 in the zeitgeist, that was the peak. That was the zenith. And now we're in an age where Halo 4 comes out. People are like, oh, okay. Guardians comes out. It's like, why am I not Master Chief? Infinite comes out. Cool. This is weird. Like, where do you think the Halo franchise is going? So what I'm going to do here, so right now what we see on screen besides our two beautiful faces is this is the Silent Cartographer mission from Halo Campaign Evolved. So this is Halo 1 remade in the Unreal 5 engine. Coming out on Xbox, Series XS, and PS5, which is still fucking weird to think.
So insane.
Like, so fucking wild. And and especially with this new era of Xbox leadership, this seems so fucking crazy. That this will be
the first and only.
The first and only Halo game on PlayStation. Like, so, like, what if let's say Campaign Evolved comes out, which it will, and let's say it comes out, let's say it comes out and it, actually, no, first off, do you think Halo Combat Evolved will hit the same without a multiplayer mode?
Ooh, great question. Yes and no. I think the campaign and the fun shenanigans with your friends going through it all together on now 4-player co-op is going to be a spectacular time.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to be a spectacular 30, maybe 40 hours for the people that are like really want to keep replaying it.
Yeah.
Without anything else, that's going to be it.
It's going to be an incredible weekend.
Yeah. Maybe a month for the people that are like really, really into it.
Yeah. I want to get all the achievements. I want to do everything. Yeah. I want to see kind of every little thing that they've done.
Yeah. And after that, I think it's going to be dry again for a little while.
Okay. So this is them. They had this big 343, and which now is Halo Studios, had this big announcement. It was last year, the year before now, where they're like, "Hey, we're Halo Studios. We're moving to the Unreal Engine 5, and then we're starting with this remake of Halo 1." Where does the series go after Campaign Evolved comes out? Is this going to be the beginning of an entirely rebooted series? Are we going to go to Halo 7?
I wouldn't go as far as to say reboot. I don't think they are going to erase any of the past games, like 2, 3, any of that. More remakes, sure. But I don't think it'll be a reboot in a way of like, oh, we're really changing the story.
Yeah.
But what I do think is after this, they take the mechanics that really work in this game, they refine it a little bit, and they do something multiplayer that is not connected to Halo 1 at all. It's its own. This is Halo multiplayer, and this is like your go-to for that multiplayer experience. And it is a side thing not connected to any campaign is at least where I would hope it would go shortly after this. Maybe a year, maybe 2. That's kind of stretching it. And then aside from that, my biggest hope and dream is that they see the outcry of people for more Halo games that are not just FPS. Halo Wars does have a large audience.
Mm-hmm.
You see Helldivers has a massive community.
Yeah.
Everyone's asked for it. The ODST Helldivers type game, even if it's not like a 1-to-1 ripoff, but same idea. This isn't a just standard multiplayer arena FPS game. Give it a little twist. Have a brand new, really gaming experience to the Halo franchise, and don't have it be connected to Chief. Have it be its own thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think in any world that campaign evolved leads to multiplayer evolved? And it is literally just because campaign evolved, this is a remake of Halo 1. We're doing the story from Halo 1. Cool. We have like an established storyline that we're going through. Multiplayer evolved is like in my mind it's like what was the for the Switch? It was like Super Mario Party that came out, or Mario Party Jamboree, I think. Where it was essentially, it's Mario Party, but we're cherry picking the best things from the entire Mario Party series, and we're putting them all into one kind of thing. Like a multiplayer evolved, where it is the best maps from the entire series, the best game modes, fucking Forge. It's here. There's no campaign. It is just multiplayer. It is just the multiplayer, the online stuff.
Yeah, I desperately hope for that.
Like, do you think there's a possibility? Drop in, drop out pod. Thank you for joining us tonight in chat, homies. We didn't say fuck them earlier.
Oh yeah, no, not at all.
Not even a little bit. No.
No.
Verum Dex in chat says, if they don't knock this out of the park, I think we see Halo go away for a while. This has to be a stepping off point to a vision for the series that they are committed to. 1,000%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it will be, regardless of how this game performs, it'll be based on whatever multiplayer thing they do, which I hope is just, they take the skeleton of what this campaign is, how it functions and everything, and they just morph that into a multiplayer scenario, and we go from there.
Yeah. Now, we joked about this, and maybe you're not, maybe it's true, maybe it's not, with this being the one and only Halo game on PS5. If they were to do a multiplayer thing, do you think it would be worth it for them to put that also on PS5? I mentioned this in the last episode last week, where in my mind, kind of, if you've got a single player thing that you're making, make that console exclusive.
Be exclusive, sure, yeah.
But if you have something that is a multiplayer, it's like in my example last week, it was Forza Horizon. Make that multi-platform. Do it, a year console exclusive, a kind of a thing there, and then put it on PlayStation later so people can jump into it. But Forza Motorsport, which has a multiplayer thing, but it is a lot of like a single player kind of, people are focused on their games. That's console exclusive. That's Xbox PC exclusive. Yeah.
So what's tough here is it's inverse. The campaign thing is coming to PlayStation first. But multiplayer lives and dies by its player count.
Yeah.
So you need the players to be in there. So yeah, probably it would have to be a multi-platform thing, unless they really want to just shoot this franchise in the foot again.
So do you think if they were to do just like a multiplayer evolved, or even just the next Halo game with its multiplayer suite, if it's Xbox exclusive, do you think that's a mistake?
Yeah, that's tough. If it is, let's say hypothetically, it's Halo 7, and that is
Yeah.
the full suite, sure, that could be exclusive. If it is just a standalone multiplayer only thing, I think that's got to be multi-plat.
Okay. You heard it here first. Heroic Headgear wants Halo on PlayStation and nowhere else.
Yep, that's my exact words. I have a PS5 downstairs. I'll keep playing it. Yeah. In the meantime, can we have God of War or something on Xbox?
No.
I mean, what?
No, PlayStation's keeping everything.
I didn't ask for that. That's a crazy thing to assume that they would share. What?
No.
Terrible.
No. They didn't want to fucking give anyone Helldivers 2.
I am glad we got that everywhere, though.
God, yeah, that's once again, that's that multiplayer. You're just playing that online. Like, you're not just... You can solo it, but you're still soloing it online.
Online, yeah.
Throw it everywhere, man. Get the biggest reach that you can. Get the biggest audience that you can. And plus, it's published by Sony. Oh no, people didn't buy it on the PS5 because they bought it on the Xbox. Ah, we still made money.
No, the money. Yeah.
Do a timed exclusive.
Yes, timed exclusive, I think, is... If they're doing more return to multiplayer for Halo and really want to make it a big splash, it's got to have the players.
Yeah. Sony's going to be surprised when they make less money going back to purely exclusive first-party games. You're not wrong. Like, obviously those games never went to Xbox, but cutting off the fucking PC, and yeah, maybe the PC cons, like the PC games,
number line's supposed to go up.
Yeah,
why number line not go?
My number go down. Ape together strong. Nate,
Robert,
let me see if I've got any other things, but I think we might be at the end of the episode here. I just want to make sure we don't have any other write-ins, because I do not want to miss anyone. Nope. Got them all. Wait, one more. Let's see here. Okay, no, somebody just reacted to it with a fire thing, so there was no information there.
Oh, look at that. One more write-in from Heroic Headgear.
Oh, what?
Oh, he's rambling about how Halo Infinite has hands down the best customization in any Halo ever, and that the Spartan designing is actually like so fun that you can spend hours in doing that alone. Wild. That's crazy.
Do we need to talk about, what is it, Dead or Alive, that had a Halo, had a female Spartan? Yeah. Was that Dead or Alive?
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah.
It was Dead or Alive, or it was Killer Instinct. One of the two.
I think it was Dead or Alive, but I could very well be wrong. Because I don't feel like Killer Instinct is like I think maybe they had Battletoads, actually.
And that's like a 1-to-1. Yeah.
Yeah, it just fucking makes sense. Really.
Battletoads and Halo, they're really the same thing.
Was it Dead or Alive, or was it fucking Soul Calibur?
Soul Calibur had the Star Wars stuff.
Well, Soul Calibur also had Spawn on Xbox, because I think Soul Calibur 2, Xbox got Spawn, PlayStation got Hayachi from Tekken, and GameCube got Link.
Yeah.
And then the next one, I think 3 was a Star Wars one, but
yeah,
I know
I'm pretty sure
it was either Dead or Alive or Tekken. I'm pretty sure it was Dead or Alive that had a Spartan.
Yeah, I remember that.
Nintendo got the best included character with 2, says Virimtex. Oh, he never played as Spawn. Okay. Back to the two of us. Nate, thank you once again so much for joining me. Especially very last minute here.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, and I had a great time. And I'm like I said, I mentioned this earlier. I don't know if it was before we were on air or not, but I have been wanting to invite you on anyway, and this just
perfect opportunity. Yeah,
fucking worked out. So,
nothing better. I would rather come on spontaneously to yap about than Halo. I love this franchise. Yeah. Halo and Star Wars. It's the two big ones. Yep.
So when we do Oops All Star Wars video games,
I'm there.
which will take 17 hours. Okay.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Maybe that'll be part of our extra life stream.
Oh, that's a good idea.
We'll maybe
solid, yeah.
try to play through the games, but we'll just hang out with you for 12 hours talking about a bunch of different Star Wars games while we all try to play them together.
That is definitely an idea. Yeah.
Yeah, that is an idea. But before we go, let people know where to find you, what you've got coming up, any sort of ideas that we have for the Star Wars Galactic Racer thing. Actually, I thought about that because you were like, I want to do maybe like a week-long, like a full-on thing.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, talk to Dido and the Content Mill. Maybe it's something that happens, across a few different podcasts and shit.
Yeah, I want it to be a big
Yeah.
community, bring as many people together. I know a lot of really cool people doing cool things. I'm trying to make them all know each other now.
Yeah, every fucking person that I have met in this community, and for me at least, it all stems from Kind of Funny. Okay.
Oh yeah.
And that's led me to so many great people, and also Neo Aoshi. But every single person that I have met, like from Kind of Funny and then kind of branching out, is so goddamn creative and so goddamn talented, and it makes me physically angry. No, it doesn't. No. No, well, every single
Neo
fucking
makes
person.
you physically angry.
Neo does,
that makes more sense.
Yeah. He and I, when I see him in December, if he comes to the Game Awards again, we will fight and then we will make love. It'll be sweet love for half of the duration of our fight. No matter how long the fight is, the love making will be half of the time. Yeah. So. But everyone that I've met...
It's a verbal contract, yeah.
Yeah, it's a verbal contract, yes. Everyone that I've met is so fucking talented, and I would love to have this bigger, like, this whole community of these podcasts and all of us being fucking just friends with each other, and I'm so happy to have met you and to have met everyone. I'm off my soapbox. Go ahead and tell people where to find you.
Where to find me? Well, one, my podcast that I co-host with Gianni DeCrosta, Eric, Mr. the Human, and Phil from 70% Complete. That is the Content Mill podcast, and we've been doing some fun stuff lately. And
yes, you have
a lot of games in there. So we've been doing some fun drafts of like mystery games. Eric's been setting up. I did a Star Wars one that was: is this a Star Wars character or an exotic animal? And boy, that one, you would guess. Some of them go one way and they go the other. You can find me here at Headgear everywhere: TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, which I am not super active on right now because I'm about to be going on vacation. But after that, when I come back, what I've been doing is streaming a game and then making a helmet from that game. And at some point, if you sub during that game's playtime, you're entered into a giveaway that at the end you could win the helmet. Oh, isn't that neat? And then aside from
did
that,
not win
commissions
the New California Republic Ranger helmet.
Yes, buddy, Sam Hall of Games won that.
Fuck
and
yes.
Yeah, that's the one person to win it across the pond, and it's been a struggle to get it to him because shipping prices are insane right now in America. What are we doing? What's going on in the world? Anyways, that's me and where you can find me and stuff. And commissions are always open. So if you want a custom helmet, let me work with you and let's make something.
We'll figure out a fucking Storymoders helmet.
That would be rad. Yeah.
We've got to. I can get you the high quality logos that Cam sent me when we did our rebrand.
Perfect. Yeah.
Also, now the Star Wars Jeopardies, the one that I won.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
The
don't tell people.
Yeah. Okay.
The Star Wars Jeopardy that Neo Aoshi and I scored the same amount of points on. We'll go with that.
Yes.
Because I think that's true.
Yeah, I think that is actually true.
Yeah.
And how embarrassing for him. Ugh.
Right? Fucking idiot. Are those on? Do you have a YouTube or anything? Are those VODs going to be up anywhere?
I just started the YouTube. Those
Okay.
VODs will be going up and will be the first on my channel. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, and that was super fun, even though I don't know dick about Star Wars. I love Star Wars.
I'm continuing the Jeopardy. Next
Yeah.
one, I think we are doing just broader gaming knowledge. So yeah, we'll get some fun people in there for that. But that's all that I have going on, really.
I do need to call out someone in chat. As I was, waxing poetic about all of my dope-ass friends that I've met here and how talented they are, Verum Deck says, "You are all so talented. Love seeing you all doing cool shit." Dex, if you don't think you're part of that,
Yeah.
the fuck, bruh. Brosif. Bruv.
Broski.
Bruz. Come on. That's you. I've slept in a bed with Dex, and I'll do it again. The first time that Verum Dex and I met, we slept in a bed together because we decided it ahead of time because we had a small hotel for the Game Awards. Yeah. So
Phenomenal.
Nate, thank you so much.
Yeah,
you
thanks
are
for
fucking
having me
awesome.
on. This was a great time.
Yeah. My dog. I'm moving my I'm hitting my desk with my glass here. And my dog is not fucking having it. So I'm going to put that over here.
You get it.
He's not happy. Yeah. We will see you all next week, which we don't have a topic for next week. So if you have any ideas, let us know. 2 weeks from tonight, we do have a topic. And we do have a very special guest lined up. And if you're in the Discord, you may have seen them join it earlier. But we will have Lucas Emmanuel, one of the developers behind the remake of the end of the greatest RPG of all time, joining us in 2 weeks. Yeah. Secrets. Shh. We'll see you all next week. This is Storymoders. Hang out after the outro because we're going to drop a raid.